James Kirtley, obviously disappointing to come off with a ball needed to have a completed match. You've had a chance to speak to the umpires. What was the thinking there?
They felt that the conditions had worsened and it was time to call it. And no matter how much we might want to stamp our feet and complain, it's not going to reverse a decision like that. But you would have hoped that it might have been managed slightly differently, but it wasn't. And as I said the other night when we lost, we're going to have to embrace these knocks. This competition is a long one. I mean, the lads are gutted there because you had Surrey on the ropes. Whether we'd set ourselves up to chase in a 15-over game or a 20-over game, we were well placed in the game, and not to get the points today. There's some very disappointed lads there. But look, I'm hugely proud of them as well. It's a really provocative situation where other teams could have lost the emotions, and we didn't. And I think that's important. It shows the maturity of the side, and actually probably an inner confidence that we don't want to rely on just 1 point. So we dust ourselves off and we go again for the 3 games that follow this week.
Let's talk about the cricket we did get. Firstly, with the start of the chase, the aborted chase, going great guns.
Going great, didn't it? And we talked at length. We talked a little bit the other night about how to assess the start of our innings, and I thought Salty and Righty did that brilliantly. They banked that learning from the other night and put it into practice straight away, and that's all we're talking about. That if we can embrace the knocks, have the sensible conversations, then we can learn the next time, and they showed that. So it was great to see that in those two.
With the 4.5 overs, we got the sense that actually 175 was chaseable. Is that what we thought at the halfway point as well?
Absolutely. I think we've seen that you can comfortably score 60 or so in the last 6 overs. So you need 110 off 12 overs, which isn't that much nowadays. And you get that sort of flyer like we did. What we would have needed 80. Well, we wouldn't even have needed that probably 60 in those middle overs, which is more than we're more than capable of doing. So I thought we've set ourselves up really nicely there. But yeah, wasn't to be. But I thought Tymal bowled again brilliantly, showed really good control at the end and closed the game out, their innings out really well. And another 3 wickets for him, and which is great because he's gone through it over the winter, and to see him coming back to his best is really exciting for us.
And on Tymal, who's been great for us so far in this campaign, catching the eye as well of the England captain, talking about him as potentially someone who could be pushing hard for a place in that T20 World Cup. I guess you wouldn't disagree. I
wouldn't. I mean, I don't want to lose any more players, but no, it'd be great for Tymal. And look, we've done a lot of work over the winter, and he's worked incredibly hard. So, if he does get that sort of recognition, I think by stat, he's the second best defensive bowler in the world. So, if they were to knock on, and ask about him, then obviously, I think he can bowl. We know he can bowl. He's bowling with great pace, and he's fit as a fiddle at the minute. So he's going well.
And bowling with great intelligence as well, particularly at the death, where we've seen in the last couple of games with the short, straight boundaries here at Hove, he's managing to get away with not going for very many at all in those death overs.
No, he's not. And look, he's thought about it. We've talked about various ways that we can bowl, as I say, drop a bit more smart into our bowling, and he's really embraced that. And he's looked to improve. He's already got a very good career, but he's looking to improve. I think his fielding's improved enormously, and we saw what the work that he's been doing in the winter with Ash Wright. We saw what he can do with the bat now. So he's not standing still. He's looking to get better. And say a few years ago he was already recognised for England, and I think they might have another better version of him now.
A couple other things to cover. CJ only bowled 1 over tonight. Obviously it's very difficult to give an instant diagnosis from Dr. Kirtley, but what is your assessment?
No, it was the right thing to do. We've got to show precaution, and he'll be assessed tomorrow and whatever else that might mean. And look, we talked at length this morning about whether he wanted to play. We had a plan for how he was going to do it, and the conditions, he just slipped and just got in a slightly awkward position and just it's just pulled on his groin. So hopefully it's minimal, but with someone with CJ's pedigree, you want to make sure that you take every precaution, because as I say, this tournament's a long one. He's got England ambitions, he's got all sorts of ambitions that we have to manage the player as well as we can.
Weather, of course, as well as umpires' decisions, are totally out of our control. But what we can control, what goes on the pitch, and we've got 3 games next week, which, if we get to play them, will be a chance to get back on the winning road.
Yeah, look, we got Kent down here. I mean, they're all big fixtures in the South Division. There aren't any. There's never a tap in these games, and so every side's got match winners. So, look, we improved from the other night, and I thought we improved in all the right areas. I think we've still got probably another gear to go to, if I'm honest. And I think the lads will be revved up for Tuesday, as they will be, to try and finish this week on a high, and hopefully with 6 points in the bag.
Lovely, thanks for your time.
No problem.